The Revenue Mobilisation, Allocation and Fiscal Commission is considering an upward review, calling the current pay for the president, ministers and other top officials outdated and unrealistic. According to the commission, political leaders earn significantly less than heads of agencies and parastatals. A disparity, it says, must be addressed. But the proposal is already facing some pushback. The African Democratic Congress has slammed the move as tone deaf and an affront of struggling Nigerians, arguing that the government should prioritize raising the minimum wage amidst rising inflation and economic hardship. So is this salary review a step towards fairness and better governance, or just another sign of political elites shielding themselves from the realities of ordinary Nigerians? Well, News Central's Sagir Ibrahim sampled opinion in Abuja on RMAFC's plan to raise political office holders' salaries. Listen to what Nigerians had to say.
Believe me, I heard this thing, I read it from social media. I thought it was just a joke. You can see most of the politicians are businessmen, and they are rich already. So what do they need this poor masses money for? If you watch our civil servants, I think before, from 30,000 naira, they were asking to be upgraded, I think about 70. And it took so many years for them to consider that. I see something wrong with Nigeria if this thing continues.
I don't think this is justifiable in the light of the current economic situation. We have been even complaining about the current salary they have been receiving, that there is a need for adjustment, review downward. Actually, it is outrageous for them to come out, to come again that they want to increase it. No. It is not fair to the taxpayers and the citizens.
They are collecting enough. In fact, the problem of lawmakers now is how to spend the money. As we speak now, the lawmakers of Nigeria are earning the highest salary in the whole world. So what's the point? If it was for the civil servants, fine, they can increase their salary. But those that you mentioned before, no.
No, it's not the right thing to do, because the ministers, the president, the senators, look at what they are doing. They are enjoying themselves while the masses are suffering. Look at the civil servants who are doing the work. So why not increase their salary? Then they are talking about their own, which is not good. It's not fair.
I don't think this is the right time. This is not the right time, because the government promised to pay us minimum wage. But up to now, we have not seen anything. And now they are planning to increase lawmakers. What about the civil servants that are working hard to see that this government succeeds?
Concentrating on the judges, the ministers, the senators, whom the populace of Nigerians has been crying for their salaries to be downsized so that the economy can grow. It is unfair to increase their salary as of now. All that is playing right now is because of the election that is coming.
Well, before we kick off our conversation, our correspondent, Sagir, will join us to speak on this. Sagir, thank you for joining. Well, I mean, great work going to the streets and trying to, of course, listen to what Nigerians have to say concerning this. But generally, from your interactions with Nigerians on the street on this matter, what's your take? What were you able to? What's the takeaway?
A majority of them shared the same sentiment. Good evening, Lekon. Thank you so much. So we spoke with quite a number of Nigerians, both on camera and off camera, and they shared similar sentiments. Why is the government at this time considering reviewing the salaries and the wages of public office holders when for some of them they are already earning so much? I mean, take example, the legislators who they claim are some of the highest paid, in the world as at this moment. I was doing a quick calculation, benchmarked at 21 million, that salary could pay around 300 workers. minimum wage of 70,000 naira per month. So if you put this into context, this sort of gives you an understanding of the reasons why Nigerians are agitated the way that they are. They already feel that public office officials, public office holders are already earning so much. Of course, they would not understand the situation as they are described it as, matching the salaries with current realities, especially considering that the realities are harsher for Nigerians as at this time. Hence the reason why they are saying it's a big no for them. They do not support the review of the salaries upward as at this time, for whether it's the president or the vice president or governors or commissioners or ministers or whomever it is as the case may be, because Nigerians simply cannot afford it, and rather those monies be diverted to improving the quality of life of ordinary Nigerians and regular citizens.
All right, now talking about the minimum wage, which of course is 70,000 naira, and looking at the proposal saying that these public office holders at least should earn above ₦1 million per month. Many are questioning, if at all you do a review, let's look at the gap. The minimum wage is 70,000, and you are saying for public office holders, it should be above $1 million. Can there be, do you think that there can be, if at all this should fly, can there be a middle point of convergence to maybe an ideal figure?
But for these Nigerians, it's not even a matter of a middle ground or a middle point at all. They are saying at this time, we are talking about cutting the cost of governance and also reducing these salaries as the case may be, because they already feel that it is too much. So they are not looking for a middle ground, at least from the conversations that I had. What they want is either leave it as it is or review it downwards, plus cut government spending and also cut the cost of governance. If it is not any of this, then they do not feel that the review, as the case may be, would have any impact on them. And like some mentioned, it's a case of politics as they had described it. So they feel that, okay, maybe this is just another opportunity for those in power to enrich themselves a little bit and, feel a bit more comfortable than they are, while neglecting Nigerians who are on the streets striving daily with a minimum wage of 70,000 that was initially 30,000 naira and is now 70,000, but still cannot, for a lot of Nigerians, cover the cost of daily living and basically afford them a reasonable standard of living. So for them, it's not a matter of midpoint or middle ground, but rather reinvesting whatever it is that they want to review upwards of these salaries to the lives of the average citizens. This for them is the only way that they would say, okay, the government is doing anything meaningful, to impact their lives.
Sagir, Ibrahim, thank you so much for your time on the program. It's a pleasure having you. All right, joining this conversation right now, we are bringing on Olujobi Ezekiel-Fayoyin is the NRM State Chairman, Ogun State Chapter. Also have Salaudeen Hashim is a Public Policy Analyst. Gentlemen, thank you for joining the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, let me start with you, Salaudeen. Now, let's look at the reason for the review. The reason given is that this review hasn't been done since 2008. RMAFC considers it outdated and a need to sort of balance it to with the current realities of the economy. I mean, is there substance to this?
Very much. I think it would be very good to begin by saying that very clearly to begin by saying very clearly that pain is the gatekeeper of destiny. And if Nigerians are already helping to situate these pains by also trying to tighten their own belts to ensure some level of advancement, then it becomes very important that the state and, of course, those who are its proxies should also learn to also bear that pain. I recall very recently the president himself at a panel discussion during the BRICS meeting said that before you make an omelette, that you must break an egg. And what he tried to really advance is the fact that, look, there's a need for everybody to structurally adjust in terms of their both remuneration, cost of living, lifestyle generally. to be able to maintain and go through this storm, and that it will be better. So why is the state and of course its proxies not believing in their own arrangement and program? I think that is the first issue to put on the table. Two is the fact that for purposes of the recent cybercrime law that actually deals with Section 24 about whether or not you can say things that disturb, and of course they come after you. I'll try not to use too much word, but I think it is actually executive rascality. And every single member of that has chaired RMAFC very lately have tried to want to support or provide some level of extend an olive branch to the political actors. And I think this is very unfair and not proper, because you are actually not serving those people, but you are serving the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And it's very fundamental that you should not find a way to gratify the fact that you have been appointed into a particular office, thinking that that is a way to gratify and then, of course, sustain and retain your appointment by providing those kind of proposal. Unfortunately, he's not the first person who did that. The previous chair of RMAFC also had made that proposal in the past. Now let us get into the structures. They are proposing the 114%, 141% increase, and that is just on salaries. And of course, if you do an aggregation, they are projecting what is only salaries to Nigerians, and I dare them to also provide all the allowances and the associated benefits that each of the public officers get. Then, of
all right, that's a topical question that you have raised. You said that they're just talking about the salaries. What about the allowances and other benefits that come with their office? I'll leave you for a moment. Let me, of course, bring into the conversation Mr. Ezekiel-Fayoyin is the NRM State Chairman, Ogun State chapter. Now, from what we gathered from the streets, some Nigerians are saying, look, these people are comfortable, right? The problem many of them might even be having is how to spend the money, and that one even claim that they seem to be one of the highest paid in the world. What's your take?
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Dapo. Thank you for having me here. Before I start this discussion, most of the times when we're talking, people only see us as opposition. They don't actually take the words that we are trying to bring out from all what we are trying to do. And opposition simply means you're trying to reposition when there are issues, in the country. Most of the times, when you look at the way this government started, you will know that there is nothing you are going to write about at the end of the day. Look at now when people are suffering abject poverty in the land. Now you are bringing another thing about salary increment. Then you can now understand. I believe Nigerians will now see by themselves that they don't have leaders. They don't have leaders at all. They only have saboteurs that are there to just do whatever they want to come and do, come to the government and just do it as if they are in their father's parlor. Because how can Nigerians be passing through issues, passing through pains now, and somebody will now come on and be raising increment in salary? That's when you know that then we are in for it as Nigerians. We are in for it because this is not what we are expecting now. Nigerians are every day they are crying. Nigeria is going down in shambles. Everything is going down. And at the end of the day, somebody still want more money in their pocket, despite all the allowances, despite everything, the passes on their table, a lot of things. You hear so many things on the news about Nigerians. Like last week, I was reading something online, maybe it's true or not, but it is what is something of the nature. Like they said $65 billion is in someone's account and it is residing in US, and US government is here to, you are hearing so many things. Is this the next thing? Is this the next phase for us as Nigerians to be hearing? Is this good news? It's just like they just want to continue to punish us. And I don't know if we have really offended these people and that they decided that they are just going to be punishing us as Nigerians, because this is not what we are expecting at this time. All right. I don't even expect the president to even put this kind of thing, or anybody in public office to be putting something like this on their table. All right, thank you. I'm not expecting it. So from my own side of view, it is a no-no for any increment rate or whatever.
For public office holders.
The opposition party is not in support of it.
All right, we'll definitely dwell more on that when we come back to you. But we'll go on a quick break. When we return, joining the conversation will be Dr. Auwal Abdullahi. He's a political analyst. He joins also virtually. We'll go on a quick break. When we return, we'll be right back. Stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. It's still Politics HQ on News Central Television. And of course, today we are looking at a proposal by RMAFC to review the salaries of political office holders upwards. Of course, we're still dwelling on reactions from Nigerians and our guests on the program this evening. Well, I'm coming to you, Dr. Abdullahi, on this one. Let's look at some issues around this upward review. The last upward review, according to RMAFC, happened in 2008. And for them, they feel that some political office holders earn less than heads of agencies and parastatals. And, you know, for this disparity, for there to be some sort of maybe uniformity in hierarchy and all of that in terms of pay, hence the reason for the review, aside the current economic, realities. I'm going to put it to you. I mean, is there substance here? Or is there a better way to even address this problem that they have raised?
Well, thank you very much for having me once again. I want to look at this from three different angles. From the political angle, the administrative angle of it, and then the economic angle. Now, from the economic angle, you could agree that, yes, because of the economic hardship, the downturn and the high rise of prices of foodstuff and everything usable, human usage, the prices have been skyrocketed, multiplied itself by so many times. You could, from that angle, the economic angle, say yes, there's nothing wrong if you increase the salaries of public holders at this very time, most especially that the last time that it was increased was so many years ago. That is from the economic angle. Now, looking at it from the administrative angle also, you can say that comparing the hierarchy, like you rightly put, hierarchy of a senator, for example, hierarchy of member of House of Representatives, you even go down to that of state legislatures and what have you, and then also the position of a minister, and of course that of the president, the vice president, and things like that. If you look at it from that angle, you could say yes. Also administratively, and also comparing it with the civil servants, comparing what the civil servant, the permanent secretary, and other directors are taking as their take-home pay. If you look at it from that angle, you could say yes. For example, a minister is taking less than ₦1 million as his take-home salary, monthly salary. And then if you look at what the permanent secretary is taking, and possibly what some directors and members of different parastatals, agencies, and agencies on government, you could agree that, yes, there may be need administratively to increase the take-home pay of these political office holders, if you like, public servant, their salary needed to be increased, looking at it administratively, and also to create balance, possibly that could assist in reducing corruption and things like that. So if you look at it from these two different angles, you can agree that yes, their salaries needed to be increased. But if you look at it politically now, then you will say that there's no need for them to increase their salaries, because if you go to the Senate or House of Representatives, from oversight function to other activities to sitting allowances, and so many other allowances that the member of House of Representatives, State Assembly, Senator, and possibly ministers are taking, you could say no. Under that circumstances, politically speaking, you can say no, there's no need for that increase to come in now, because they are, of course, comfortable. Looking at it politically, you will feel they are very comfortable from their lifestyle.
Dr. Abdullahi, I'm going to ask you this directly. I mean, you've given different angles to your analysis, but you personally, do you think that a salary increase for political office holders at this time is necessary?
Well, Nigerians are suffering. Nigerians are crying of lack of hunger, of poverty, economic hardship, and so many other things. Looking at it from that angle, and Nigerians are looking up to their political public service leadership or political office holders to bring succor to them, to bring relief to them. I think looking at it from that angle, I don't think it is right for the salary of any political office holder to be increased at this moment, because it means it will read simply to say.
Doctor,
if for the problems that Nigerians are going through, that the public office holders or political office holders are not holding this office for themselves, they are holding this office for Nigerians who elected them into those various positions, or who government appointed them into various offices. So
all right, thank you so much.
As looking at it from that angle, they don't need salary increasement.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Abdullahi. Let me come back to you, Mr. Dr. Hashim Salaudeen. Now, let's look at also the what I call it current economic realities that seems to be prevalent in the country right now, and the reason this commission is given in tandem with the minimum wage, which is 70,000 naira, right? I'm going to put it to you directly, sir. There are some Nigerians that are saying, look, so that these people can feel what we feel, a public office holder too should start from that 70,000 naira, and then maybe when they feel where the shoe pinches, then they'll be forced to carry everyone along. What's your take?
Well, I am an abolitionist, and of course I agree completely that for you to be able to create a revolution and transform a particular sector, it is very important for you to create a system of equality, and of course, which is one of the things that I believe is the biggest threat to the social fabric we have in this country: injustice, economic injustice, political injustice, and injustice cutting across all sectors. And that in itself is actually telling us. So that said, I think it is very important to also bring a criminologist theory that speaks about broken window concept, broken window theory. Broken window theory simply tells you about deviance and how little issues, when they are not dealt with, can embolden the entire system to create a larger scale threat to the social fabric. And why did I bring that? Is to say that most of this political class that we talk about today have been in the system, some of them over 22 years. As a matter of fact, if you do an average, most of them have been in the system for over 20 years. These are people who have never used their own personal resources to fuel their cars. They have never used their personal resources to rent any property. They have not used their personal resources to even procure vehicle, because they get vehicle as allowances and as part of their PEP of offices. They have chefs, and of course, government always provide them with food because they don't even know how much they sell these things. So the chef the budget comes in and they get all of. So if you do this analysis and you benchmark it against the person who gets a minimum wage of 70,000, and of course has to pay school fees, and of course has to pay rent, and has to pay transport, has to fuel, and put all of these basics on the table, it tells very clearly that we're actually operating an unjust scale in terms of the remuneration. And the best way to do this is to also adopt a template that says, look, we are not going to pay any salary or allowance to public office holders. The best we could do is to provide sitting allowances to specific times that your time is actually invested. That for me might be the kind of revolution.
Dr. Hashim, I'm sorry, I'm going to come in here. I mean, we also talk about the issue of corruption and public office holders here. Do you think that, I mean, if this, public servants, so to speak, are not properly remunerated, if you don't have these allowances, you don't have this, pretty much comfortable salaries, they can be vulnerable to corruption. Do you think that an increase of such sort of makes them focused and, not corrupt?
It doesn't matter which way you go, they're already very vulnerable because, I mean, corruption is there anyway. So whether or not you increase salaries, there is already a lot of leakages that goes on within the system. And of course, this is actually a function of our inability to plug the holes and build a robust, strengthen our institutions to be able to contain and prevent some of these leakages. So that is just on the one side. So, but again, even if you do that, and there is going to, you know that you're only facing the aspect of corruption, which is already there anyway. And then, of course, you now know that you have already saved additional resources you can plug into social infrastructure and further engagement. Citizens must see their leaders as those who are leading and preaching, practicing what they preach. We cannot be seen to be using a two-edged sword in our public policy analysis or public policy engagement. For you to be able to engage constructively, you must be able to give the people back the same way you think and put yourself in their shoes. And that is why it is important to state that the Office of the Citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is the ultimate and the first office and the strongest office in this country. Okay. And it's very important for the political class to realize and know this. And this is the only way we can actually use that particular office as a measure to contain and prevent some of these anomalies.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Hashim. Before we go on a break, I'd just also like to get the opinion of Mr. Fayoyin. Mr. Fayoyin, I mean, you belong to a political party. You are the state chairman of the NRM in your state, Ogun State. And, you know, at the opening of your remark, you said, no, there shouldn't be a salary review, upward review for political office holders. You are emphatic on it. But I'm going to put it to you. Is it because you're in the opposition that you are sounding like this? If you are in power, and this came up, would you object it?
Thank you very much for that question, sir. At first, if you are a just person, and I already say if you are a just person, and you are coming into Nigerian politics, and you really want to be just, not just the way we do things in Nigeria, will you, even though you are not you're in politics or you are not in politics, will you look at the way Nigerian system is right now, the way Nigerian system is, and you now, because you are in the system, now say that you want to add more money for yourself? Just listen to what somebody just said. Most of these public orders don't even know how much a bag of rice is sold. Everything they eat is free of charge. They eat for the next 4 years, and some of them have been in the system since more than 15, 20 years. They've been in the system, enjoying free and free and free. You can just, you know, I told you before, if you listen very well, I said it's just like these people are being used by, so I don't know, to punish Nigerians.
So I just want a direct answer, because we really need to go on a break. So let's assume, I mean, it's your party or you, why a senator or maybe a public office holder. Would you object it?
A just person, if you're a just person, if you're a just person, I will not come into power because my party is in the system. Then I'll tell them, with the situation of Nigerian system right now, it will be as if I want to punish Nigerians if I'm now telling my own party to now add more money. Because, you know, when most of the times when we are arguing, some people say because we are not in their, we are not in the ruling party.
So sorry, I just really understand what brought us for the benefit of viewers watching. It's a yes or no answer. Yes or no? Are you that just person?
It is no, sir. It is no. I can't support my party to add money to when I know that most of the people in the system are enjoying free things. They don't even know how much anything costs in Nigeria. But they are just like, they just want to punish us. Like they just want to inflict pains on Nigeria. So you now expect me, that means if I'm now supporting them, that means I'm unjust. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
So I can never support that.
All right, gentlemen, we'll go on a quick break. When we return, we'll definitely dig deeper into this conversation. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Many thanks for staying with us. It's still Politics HQ on News Central Television. I still have my guest with me. Olujobi Ezekiel-Fayoyin is the NRM State Chairman of Ogun State Chapter. And also Salaudeen Hashim is a public policy analyst, and Dr. Auwal Abdullahi, political analyst. Gentlemen, I'd like to say a big thank you. Thank you for staying with me. All right, now let's broaden this conversation. And I'm coming to you, Dr. Abdullahi, to look at the cost of governance itself in the country. even though we know that this proposal is for top political office holders, and it doesn't, really, encompass, it to maybe the list. But there's also talks around how much is spent to run our government. An average office holder has aides. Interestingly, some of those aides even have PAs and SAs, and, the list is endless. You can see like a breakdown there on your screen, Nigeria's presidential monthly salary, just, for the benefit of our viewers at home. Now, I'm going to put it to you with this proposal in tandem with the cost of governance. There have been talks around breaking it down to the barest minimum. I mean, how do we achieve this?
Reality is so many people are milking the government, so many people are milking Nigerians indirectly or indirectly. And if that is the issue, believe me, like I said, I have analyzed these things for you from three different angles. And the final one is the political angle. And we are speaking politics here because, and we are talking about political office holders, which are in other word called public servant. The truth is, as a public servant, you are there to serve the people. If your responsibility and your mandate is to serve the people, then you don't need the people to serve you. How can the people serve you? By siphoning and taking much from what is supposed to go to them, it is coming to you. You are no longer serving them, they are now serving you. So if that is the case, it has become reverse bias, So I am saying that the cost of governance is truly very, very high. Like you rightly put, and also on the analysis you put there on the screen, government and governance is very, very expensive in Nigeria. Political office holder, he is appointed or elected, he will come in with so many aides who are going to be assisting him in running the office or doing the work that he's been elected or appointed to do or to serve the people. All those ones will be coming under his purse, and not just his purse, but the purse of the government, because so many people will be running down, having different kind of political offices, and of course they come with different salaries and what have you. And this is starting from the federal government, state government, even going to the local government, just like you have on your screen right now. So I am saying that truly the cost of governance is very high. So there is, at this moment, to be fair to Nigerians, political office holders shouldn't be thinking or asking for an increment in their take-home pay. Why? Because they are supposed to be servant of the people. They are supposed to be serving the people, not the other way around, the people serving them. So if you are a servant of the people, first thing first is to ensure that whatever you do is within the interest and the protection of those who brought you to serve them, not milking them. So, and I don't think so far so good. I don't know why the organization, that is the RMAFC, trying to come up with this issue. Maybe it is a pressure from the political office holders, but I haven't heard that or see a document that is saying that it is the political office holders that are asking for this. If it is the organization who is saddled with the responsibility of adding the ramification of every public or civil servant, I think it is being timely. The timing is very, very wrong, as it is right now. And I will expect the public service holders, that's the political class, to come out and disagree with this position in the interest of the people that they are serving, that is Nigerians. And that if they do so, Nigerians will have a sigh of relief, saying that yes, they are truly our servant. They are there not for themselves, they are there for us. So therefore, if we are not benefiting, or if we are not enjoying, or if we are not comfortable, they are also not there to make themselves comfortable. Their responsibility is to see that we are comfortable. So they are.
Dr. Abdullahi, thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Abdullahi. Let me of course, direct the same question to Dr. Hashim. Dr. Hashim, and I'm going to put it, to you. Do you think that there should be a cap on the amount of political appointees, a political office holder, for instance, should have we know that quite a number of them, this administration, for instance, has been pointed as, if not the administration with the highest, appointees or appointments. Some, are largely even political than, the office itself, SAs, SSAs, and what have you. So do you think this should become a constitutional matter where, an office holder, political office holder should have, a specific amount of appointees, whether it be aides or PAs or what have you, in order to, in a way, curb the cost of governance?
Dangerous decline that we have in our governance, that we see this level of proliferation of appointees everywhere. I mean, very lately you will hear some and you'll be so amazed to think that this is actually insulting sensibilities. But again, it is what it is. Those who are in the executive arm at federal or state or local level have also devised means to also find a way to saturate, if you like, continue to oil the wheel of public resources. And I'll give you one very quick example very recently, when there was some level of exchange between two political gladiators. And simply put, there was a very clear case of accusing somebody of eating the salaries of their drivers, and that was why their drivers left. And it is, for me, so condescending to say that a distinguished senator, so to say, allegedly, could be also taking money spent for drivers. And I think that is a fundamental deviation and a fundamental gap. And it tells of the personalities that we have within the space. And this is very disturbing. Disturbing to the extent that if you have individuals who would take the monies of drivers and add it to the already bloated salaries and allowances, then it tells you the level of gluttony that is actually pervading us, and that we need to also be quite careful. And of course, for me, clearly, is the fact that there should be some level of structure in terms of governance, and it should be cross-cutting. Structure in terms of how many aids that you can get. And of course, even the commission, for instance, the National Assembly Service Commission, provides only for about 4 or thereabouts, who are supposed to be technical aid, providing support to legislative processes. But what we see are people who also don't go to get those technical people, or rather choose family and friends who come in, and that tells to the quality of legislative processes that we see today. It is simply put because they follow what is not the due process, just to be able to satisfy the already existing loan allowances and, of course, artery. And I think, again, to cap this up, is to wrap to say, look, it is very clear and fundamental that we need to have a policy in itself. This government already is implementing the Orosai report. The Orosai report is actually cutting costs of governance. And they have actually done that first by trying to merge ministries and departments and agencies that they found were not functional. And that, for me, is actually the first way to begin. That done, it is also therefore needed to take the next step. And the next step should therefore mean that they need to find a way to aggregate, even in terms of personnel. Yes, I know too well that in most clients, personnel are always used for the sake of wanting to satisfy the generality of a spread, particularly in countries like this. But when it comes to public appointment, I think it is very important that those who are appointed should also have some level of SOPs or guidelines that suggest to them the kind of responsible selections that should go in, and the minimal policy that guides those that they also select to work with them.
Dr. Hashim, thank you so much, Dr. Hashim. We'll go on a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with the conversation, taking our final thoughts. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Many thanks for staying with us. It's still Politics HQ on New Central Television. Now, just before we go, Mr. Fayoyin, you are the chairman of a political party, that's the NRM in Ogun State. I'd just like your final thoughts on this matter, preferably in 30 seconds. And in it, do you think that it's important, it's imperative that the allowances or some of the allowances of public office holders should be expunged? I'd like you to, give a brief response. You're a member of a political party.
Based on what we are going through in Nigeria, I think there should be a downward review of those that are serving right now to show. You say when you're a leader, you show by example. You don't say because you're a leader and you tell people to be doing other, you do other things and you tell them another thing. You show by example, then people will know that you have their hearts, you have their interests at heart. That's how a leader does. You don't say something else and you do another thing. So that's what I'm saying now. There should be a downward review so that they also can feel, even if there is a downward review, the saddest thing is just that they don't even know what is going on because most of them don't go to the market. That's the saddest thing. But to show that they are feeling the pains of Nigeria at the moment, there should be a downward review.
So you're advocating for a downward review. Thank you, sir.
So that's why.
How about you, Dr. Hashim? 30 seconds.
Idea completely. It is ill time. It is not proper to present this thinking to Nigerians at this time. Whatever we must do it from the lens of also allowing people to trust us, and they must trust the system. For them to trust you, you must be fair and just. And
Dr. Abdullahi, your final thoughts?
Well, my final thought is they are public servants. They are elected by the people. They are there to represent the people. They are there on behalf of the people. They should think of the people first before themselves. And if they are going to think of the people before themselves, they are not going to accept anything that will make the people cry out and say, why do you have to do this? Or why do you have to allow this? Therefore, it simply means they should remain, the status quo should be maintained, and then they should work towards improving the economy of the country. When the economy is improved, then they can go up with whatever they think they can do. But for now, let them be the servant of the people, not the people serving them.
All right, gentlemen, I'd like to say a big thank you for your time on the program this evening. Olujobi Ezekiel-Fayoyin is the NRM State Chairman, Ogun State Chapter. Dr. Salaudeen Hashim is a public policy analyst, and also Dr. Auwal Abdullahi, a political analyst. Once again, gentlemen, thank you for your time. All right, at this point, this is where we of course, drop the curtains. In case you missed out, you can catch up on our YouTube platform. That's at News Central TV. You can also follow us on social media. The handle is there on your screen. You can choose to follow me personally at Dakpo at Digboye. Until I come your way tomorrow, good night.